Hey, this is Brother Jeff with eLearning Brothers, and I'm going to walk you through how to use the new Bootcamp Storyline game inside of Articulate Storyline. So this will just give you an introduction how to get started with it, how to start modifying some things with it as well. Let's go ahead and take a look first of all to see what the Bootcamp Storyline Challenge is first of all. So we get a little welcome introduction. Go ahead and hit continue, get some more instructions here, and then I can hit start to start the game. And this one is very similar to actually the game show interaction. So if you already know how to do the game show interaction, then you can just jump right in here and start using or start modifying this. Now you have up to 5 different categories, 3 different rows in each category. The user just selects the row or the category, and they're presented with the question and the possible choices. Depending on the choice that they make, it'll either take them to a correct feedback or incorrect feedback. So if they get the correct feedback, they get the points added up to the total on the top right hand side, and then they continue going on to the next questions. If they get it wrong, it does not add the points, and they see the incorrect feedback, and they can continue from there. Now they just go throughout the entire different categories until the game is actually finished. Now, in order to use this inside of your own storyline interaction, you'll notice that the download button here, you can just download it. It downloads to your desktop. You can then double click on that, and then what happens is it becomes part of your storyline templates. So anytime you're within a project, you can just hit new project, or if you're in an existing project, you can go in at any point of your project and right click new slide, and then it becomes part of your drop down box within your templates. So you just navigate to the Bootcamp storyline interaction, select the Bootcamp interaction, and then hit import. Now, once it's been imported, you'll notice a couple of things on the left-hand side, for example, are some instructions. If I scroll up a little bit, let me modify my Articulate screen here. If I scroll up a little bit, you'll notice some of the different variables that I can change, some of the point values that I can change as well, and that you can do all within your variables. Now, all the variables are stored in the same place that any Articulate storyline variables are stored. And you can access those by coming over to the right-hand side on the X over on the right-hand side. Just click on that, and then it goes through all the different variables that you can change for this game. Now, just like other eLearning Brothers interactions, we recommend you do not change anything that starts with the letter Z. That means those are necessary for the interaction to work, but those are also necessary that you do not change unless you know what you're doing there. And so up on the top here, you'll notice the bootcamp number of questions, bootcamp row points, 100, 300, and 500. You can change that so it adds more points per row. Just make sure that you actually go into the game board over on the right-hand side, the game board layer, and change the points within the row as well. Those don't automatically change if you just change the variable here. But if I change the number of questions, let's say they do have to be in multiples of 3s unless you're removing a row, but let's say I change this to 9 questions, for example. Then I do have to navigate to the game board layer, and I do have to, if I'm only going to use 9 questions, that means I'm basically going to have to remove all except for 9 of these tiles, and you can just move those off the stage if you don't want to break anything, or you can basically delete those if you delete also the triggers that have to do with that as well. So that is how you change the variables. Let me go ahead and go back to, I'm going to use all 15 here. I'm going to go back and change this to 15. Click OK. And now I can go through all my different layers like I do with the other eLearning Brothers storyline interactions. And I come here and I can change the instructions, the instruction header, instruction text right there. Come to my game board. I can change the point values for each of my rows. I can change the category headers for each of my rows. Then I can come into category 1 question and change the question title, the label, as well as the question text, and then just come over here and change whatever is on each of these buttons. Now, just like the game show interaction, right now, let me scroll over a little bit more. Right now, this second option for question 1, or category 1, question 100, is set as correct. Well, if I decide to change this to something that's incorrect, then all I need to do is come over to the triggers within Storyline and change whatever it says here, change where it says set bootcamp state C1 equal to correct. I need to go ahead and change that to incorrect. So I type in incorrect there. and then I come over to show layer, category 1, question 1, and that, or question 100, correct. And because this is going to take you to the correct feedback, so I'm going to select the drop down box, and this is, I'm still within category 1, question 100. I'm going to go ahead and select incorrect. Now to change, let's say now option D is going to be the correct option, then I need to change those two things in option D. I need to change this to say correct, so I'm just go ahead and type in correct, and then I'm going to come over to show layer, category 1, question 100, incorrect, and now because this is correct, I'm going to change this to show category 1, question 1, correct. Now if you wanted to, right now all of the different feedback goes to one incorrect answer, or one incorrect feedback, no matter what they chose. If I wanted to have specific feedback, then I could come into the layer where it says incorrect. I can duplicate that and come back in here and say, okay, option 1, you're going to go to incorrect 1, or you're going to go to incorrect 2. And that's optional right now. We just have it going to incorrect feedback for one incorrect feedback for each question for all the 3 possible choices there. So if I don't want to, let's say I only want to have 3 choices, I can just remove one off the stage and it won't be visible as well. And that's all I do. I go into category 1, question 100, correct, change the labels there, the feedback. I can add some images if I want. Same thing with the incorrect. Go ahead and change the label there, and then go on to category 1, question 300, and continue working through all the different layers. There are, if you're using all 15 questions, there are a lot of questions that you have to go through. If you scroll up to the top, there is a results page, and the results page is what shows at the end, no matter what the score was. If you want to say something besides congratulations, or say this is the end, you can go ahead and type that in there, as well as the quiz results will show them the final percentage, how many questions that they answered out of how many questions that were possible as well. So and that's pretty much it. From here, I can go ahead and just click on Insert New Slide. I can insert one of the articulate layouts, the basic layouts, or I can come into one of the different templates from the library, and you can start adding on other games as well. But that's how you get started with the Storyline, eLearning Brothers Storyline Bootcamp Challenge interaction. And hopefully this helps you get started and start using this inside of your e-learning courses.